Man, what they do.
I just be showing niggas love. I notice when they show it back. If I wanna get to the racks, I gotta put this on my back. Yeah, I gotta carry the pack. Yeah, I gotta lead the way. Yeah, I gotta go and get it like now. Yeah, I gotta seize the day. New whip with the wrist. Ayy, bad bitch, big tits. Ayy, I gotta go and get it right now, man. I gotta seize the day.
What they do, y'all? It's your boy TJ Too Smooth, Trey Jawan, and I'm coming at y'all in sort of a somber mood and in a suit. This is actually the only suit that I own, but not for long. Today is May 5th, 10:21 at night, and I'm making this video because I just saw the news that our good brother Kevin Samuels has passed away at the age of 56. Kevin Samuels, his death affects me. It affects me as a black man, as a young black man. First of all, I'll address something. Why wear a suit? Why am I wearing a suit right now? Because I want to commemorate the impact that that man made on this world. You never saw him without a suit when he did his show. There were times in his timeline of the 4 to 5 years that he was on the internet where he had different styles and he tried different styles of clothing and things like that. But he honed in on the blue, the black, the gray suit. And he actually challenged young black men. He challenged us every Saturday to wear a suit. If you're gonna go out in public on a Saturday, wear a suit. And notice the way people treat you. Notice how different things are in the way people respond. After seeing Kevin Samuels, and I'm not gonna say that it was immediately after seeing Kevin Samuels, because, you know, I've worn collared shirts for a long time and button-up collared shirts, but I really tightened up my game as far as how I dressed and presented myself in public. And you know, I've even had family members comment on it. They'll say, "Damn, you wearing that same collared shirt? You wearing that collared shirt again?" And you know, and my response is like, yeah, I'm wearing it again because this is Perry Ellis, you know. It's Perry Ellis, of course I'm wearing it again. This ain't dingy, you know. And honestly, I even told my family members this, that I get treated differently. People look at me differently. The police don't mess with me as much. They don't even side-eye me. People in public don't bother me. Women look a little bit longer. The girls at the cashier want to talk a little bit longer when I'm dressed nicely into a tee. And that doesn't mean with the suit. If you go to my Instagram right now, you're gonna see the button-up shirts that I wear. I'm always, even when I'm going fishing, and y'all know that I like fishing, I'm always in a fitted button-up shirt and some fitted jeans and a clean pair of sneakers. But I think personally, from here on out, that suit Saturdays is gonna be a thing, man. And Kevin, man, I guess right now I'm speaking to the spirit that is Kevin Samuels, man. Man, Kevin, man, if I could tell you, you've completely impacted the mindsets of millions of young black men, man. You've impacted the mindset of millions of young black men. We care more about how we present ourselves to the world because of you. And that is a huge impact. It has changed my life for sure. In real life and in real experiences, I can attest to just dressing different, picking a fragrance, how that changes the perception of the people around you. And Kevin Samuels, I have to thank him for that. Now, Kevin Samuels, I'm not sure of the cause of his passing, but he has stated in the past and alluded to in some detail that he had cancer in his collegiate years, pancreatic cancer. And I don't know if the cancer flared up again. I'm not sure. But whatever the case, I'm sure that his passing was of natural causes and not any foul play or anything like that. Man, Kevin Samuels has most famously, of course, he's changed the mindset of us young black men who need that guidance on how to present ourselves to the world, how to carry ourselves as men. And of course, if you're like me, you have a father. If you're like me, you have a father. But it is still a blessing to have a strong-minded, strong-willed black man in the public eye who's willing to give fruitful opinions. So, yes, he spoke about the things pertaining to young black men and black men here in America, not just young and old, but most famously, he's spoken on topics that pertain to the black family. I think it's so impactful that he's been willing to step out on the limb and step out on the chopping block and speak to the topics that pertain to the black family. I totally agree with him when he says that the black family is being broken apart by our new age mindset. The black family is being broken apart by our new age mindset. Women don't care about the young black family unit. Women care more about self-preservation. Men are beginning to pull away from having children with women who don't care about the family, the young black family that builds into the world we know as black people here in America. Men are beginning to pull away and not wanting to have or create a faulty family unit with these women. And him shedding light on that situation, him being the forefront man for that situation, has really truly opened the minds of young black people. And I know that within my group of people, my community of friends, I see it now day in and day out. I'm seeing young women get proposed to and accepting the proposal. These young black women are beginning to get married. It's happening. It's happening on Facebook. I'm seeing it here in my city. It's happening on Instagram. I'm seeing it here in my city. I'm seeing young black women say, you know what, city girl summer, it's actually counterintuitive and counterproductive. Being a hoe and going through a hoe phase actually doesn't benefit me. A lot of black women are now saying these things. They're feeling this way. They're knowing that their sexual marketplace value is a valuable asset to bring to the table. So they're not wasting it frivolously. And who taught us this? Mass scale. Who taught us this? The man himself, Kevin Samuels. So not only has this man taught young black men to dress better, and by the way, the image of the young black man was tainted to begin with at no fault of our own. But Kevin Samuels put it in the forefront to remind us that it is our responsibility to change said image now that we have the power to do so. So Kevin Samuels reminded you that yes, it wasn't your fault why people look at you a certain way. It wasn't your fault to begin with, but it is your responsibility to change that now that you have the ability to do so. And the same goes for women. Women, Kevin Samuels taught that you don't have to accept this precursor of a personality that they've put out there on the forefront for you. City girl summer, bending it over and twerking on camera all the time. Girls trips where you get too drunk to remember what you did. Sex with multiple men in multiple states multiple times of the year because you want to travel. All of these things that they put out there and tell you, this is what's best for you. This is what you should do. Lifestyle is better than a family. He reminded you to snap out of that. He reminded you to not accept the lie. Don't accept what they feed you. He reminded you to slap the spoon out of their hand, spit that out, and remember what it means to love the black family. Kevin Samuels did that. He did that. And his tone was one of sternness, one of a father, which he was a father. He leaves behind a daughter that he spoke about so many times. His tone was one of a wise uncle who needed to give you the advice. He had to get it out because he cared. And I have to say, Kevin, man, you definitely did exactly what you were planning to do. You've changed lives forever. You've built families from the inside forever. Your work will not be forgotten. It will forever last. As a matter of fact, I know this for a fact. It will happen. Kevin Samuels' work will be studied for decades to come. Decades to come. They will do college level studies on the words that that man spit out of his mouth. And it will cause people to think and change their narrative forever. He sparked the flame within so many men and women who will forever be willing to further his work. And I have to say, man, I'm proud to have been a listener and an avid watcher. I'm getting a phone call right now. And I know they heard it too, and that's why they calling me. It's crazy, man. I'll call them back. I'm proud to have been an avid listener, an avid learner, a seeker of knowledge from that man. Because, again, like I said, at the end of the day, we don't have a vast amount of forefront quality leaders in the black community. We have them, but they are not pushed in the forefront, and it's not often. But when you get a guy like Kevin Samuels that's like, listen, man, I'm going to say what needs to be said, whether the pain of it is what you feel at first or whether you accept it at first. A man like that should always be listened to and paid attention to. So I'm gonna say this, and then I'm gonna close this. Suit Saturdays are gonna be a thing for me. I'm going to commit to that. See, when people who are that influential pass away, you cannot let that legacy, you cannot let it just die down. You can't let it die down, especially if you understood the truth about what that person was saying. If you understood and you comprehended the truth about what Kevin Samuels was saying and putting forward, you shouldn't let that die either. You shouldn't let it die. Continue to spread truth. Continue to speak on topics that are meaningful to the black community. Continue to create likeness of that. Because at the end of the day, you know, these are topics that matter. They matter so deeply. Because so without topics like this, Without people willing to speak like that, who's going to combat the cookie cutter mindset that's been just delivered to us day in and day out through the media, through social media? And therein lies the point, y'all. Kevin Samuels, he touched so many people, man. Such an inspiring man. Intelligent man with a scientific mind. And creative, so creative. Just his verbiage, the way he was able to elaborate on subjects and then give you metaphors. It's like he was rapping. It's like poetry in motion when you watch his shows. You know, willing to speak truth even if it hurt. Kevin Samuels, you will be missed, man. I'm glad that I was able to appreciate you while you were here. I'm glad I was able to appreciate you while you were here, and I'm not just picking up on everything later. I'm glad. And I thank God for that. And again, Suit Saturdays will be a thing for me. Not just the button-ups and the fitted pants on Saturdays, man. Suit Saturdays will be a thing, you know? Taking back that image as a black man is extremely important. It's taking back your image, man. It's not about emulating any other culture. It's about taking back our image. We wore suits too, man. We are the most stylish in whatever style. If we're rocking Balenciaga and we're rocking Gucci and Louis, or if we're rocking a black tee and some Jabot jeans, we're still the most stylish. We still got the most finesse. Me and you, the melanated ones. So rock that suit. Rock that suit. I remember being best dressed in my office. I was best dressed in my office. Just last year. Best dressed in the office. Only thing that happens, I changed offices. So now somebody else get a chance to do that. I used to come through black turtleneck, all black. Yeah. Listen. Suit Saturdays will be a thing. Kevin Samuels, thank you, brother. And you will be missed. You will be missed. Again, this TJ Too Smooth Treasure One. Inspired by the man and his message, but definitely saddened by the news, man. Kevin, man, peace, beloved.